Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in for our instant match reaction show. If you're new around here, I'm going to keep up to date on all things Liverpool and join the amazing growing community of Reds around the world. We've got on our channel. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Apologies everyone. Let me know your thoughts on tonight's game, everyone. Liverpool couldn't quite get all 3 points, but a point off the back of a very difficult game against West Brom, and Liverpool failed yet again, a back-to-back fixtures in the Premier League to find a lot of clear-cut final balls. And Karl Darlow, I've said in the title and the thumbnail, very prevalent really in today's video because he played absolutely fantastic, and really Mohamed Salah was denied on a whole host of occasions really tonight. I think there was a save in the first half. You really before the stroke of half time, he denied a one-on-one opportunity with Mohamed Salah with a fantastic world-class save, and it most definitely was a world-class save anyway. And hopefully we will be joined by Connor from the Cop Council tonight, everyone, Red. So he might jump in a little second anyway, but if he does, I'll add him in anyway. But everyone, Reds, make sure you do get your comments in the comment section below tonight, really. But yet again, it wasn't the best performance. I think Liverpool were really missing an oomph to their play. Jota, we knew how much of an importance he would have this season, and he got a lot of late winners this season, but having him out injured, but the impact of players coming off the bench, Thiago when he got brought on tonight, Thiago, we were all hoping that he was fully fit anyway. He was fully fit to be on the bench anyway, but I think in the coming weeks he will be very pivotal to really Liverpool regaining their form and really progressing and getting back on track, really, because it's too difficult back-to-back games. We know the approach West Brom they would park and men behind the ball anyway, similar tactics, and Newcastle a very stubborn side, similar to West Brom in their tactics and the way in which the managers do set them up. But Liverpool knew this was going to be the game plan, but it was a lot better performance off the back of the West Brom performance. It was just that Karl Darlow, Salah could have been playing for another couple of hours, and I think he still would have been denied by Karl Darlow between the sticks anyway. And we got Connor as plans. Connor, thank you very much for coming on, mate. Not the best off the back of the performance that we wanted, but it was a good performance, wasn't it, mate? But everyone, make sure you head over to Connor's channel. We'll leave the link in the description. But another fantastic, world-class content channel of Liverpool anyway, but make sure everyone does get involved. But Connor, it's, as I said, it was a good performance, but we just couldn't get the ball in the back of the net, could we, tonight?
Mate, I'm more buggered off with this performance than I am West Brom, because West Brom was our fault. You know, it was our fault, and we were in that game. We were full in control. But this tonight, it was more frustrating than West Brom. And I think all of us on the weekend, we were like, how could this be more frustrating than that game? And it somehow has ended up being more frustrating. Just Salah cannot finish his dinner tonight. For some reason, you can finish it off, plenty of times, when we're winning 3 or 4-0. And now one time we need him.
Yeah, it was frustrating, mate, and everyone at home, wasn't it? He's got 13 goals in the Premier League. He's not doing too bad anyway. But I was speaking to you off camera anyway. I was speaking to a couple of Reds mates anyway. And your mate Dodds, hopefully he can join us tonight. But if not, I will get him on tomorrow's video for the Newcastle reaction, because I think they'll be very happy with a point, Connor, won't they? But in terms of talking about Salah, everyone, he scored 13 goals this season in the Prem, and it was frustrating. It's classic Salah. We all love and adore him anyway, but it's just sometimes some games where you're like, just put it in the back of the net, will you? Like he's like a bit lethargic, a bit slow, but that's how much of a world class. And if you give Mane those opportunities, I'm telling you, Mane puts at least one of them in the back of the net. And it's the inconsistency of Salah yet again. We scored a lot of goals this season, but games like tonight where you're like, we could have just a little bit of luck, a little bit here and there anyway, or just a more clinical forward inside that box, i.e. Jota. as I spoke about at the top of the show, who just stays in the box and just taps it in.
Yeah, we need it. We are missing a Diogo Jota, and again, injuries again have cost us in that sense anyway. But it's not so much that we've got people missing, that can finish off a ball. We've got Divock Origi on the bench, Ox on the bench, Minamino as well. So there's loads of options there to be used anyway, and so forth. But it just frustrates me where Mo. I love Mo. Mo's, one of our best players. We all love Mo, but it is just a bit frustrating when it comes to games that we need him, desperately. Mane had his chances, Bobby had his chances, Mo had his chances, and none of them could finish off. And it's just so frustrating. I'm so angry at the same time, but I'm not. It's hard to explain. It's a hard feeling to explain.
It's the beauty of being a football fan, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone, it's
100%.
You're there's a party inside. You're like watching the game last week against West Brom. You're like, we just frankly had 2 shots on target in a whole 94, 95 plus minutes, and today we've had 11 shots. I get the quick stats up here, everyone, but it's there we go. You can see. Read out Chris' comment in a little second, but zoom in if I can. If everyone can see that, we are just zoom in there. There we go. As you can see, Liverpool dominated yet again, possession-wise. But I think this is, if there is going to be a break in the Premier League, I think we'll find out in the next coming days anyway. But Liverpool need to get back to the drawing boards, really, and really analyse. They've dominated the possession of the ball. We could have done that until the cows come home, really. But the main statistic, as always, is the scoreline. Bit of Michael Owen commentary there. But Newcastle... they've trained all week, Newcastle, this week, haven't they, in terms of analyse the game. Liverpool, we created chances, didn't put the ball in the back of the net. Frustrating. And quickly get to Chris's comments here. Thank you very much, everyone. Make sure you do get your comments in the comment section below. We'll read them out as we go throughout Reds. But time for our forwards to be put on the shooting drills. The chances we had, we should have scored. No excuses. Another frustrating result with ourselves to blame again. More drop points again. And Chris, you hit the nail on the head there, mate. We've just been speaking about that corner when we were, every single one of us, frustrated. But it's the beauty of watching the Reds and the beauty of just football. Because tonight's performance, it's not the frustrations of what we had last week. It's frustrations of, it's not a game that we played bad. It's a game of a combination of outcomes, really. Obviously, Newcastle defending very well. Shaw, his clearance off the line with the Karl Darlow save. He was getting everything, even his last strand of hair, onto every single save tonight, really. When you made, but yeah, good luck.
To be fair, like we were having the chat in the group, before we come on and that, and they were saying, who should start for Newcastle? Is it going to be Darlow now or DeVranca? And to be fair, Newcastle, they got good options. Fair play to them and that. Steve Bruce has done a masterclass somehow and got 2 very good goalkeepers somehow. But it falls back to Liverpool. It's our own mistake. Totally. It is. At the end of the day, it is Liverpool's mistake. It's again drop points against a lower half team again, and I did say this yesterday on my match preview show. It's games and points like these that will cost us winning a league title, and it will. Do I still think Liverpool can win the league? Absolutely. To be fair, anyone can win the league apart from Arsenal or anyone down there. But it is when we will look back at hopefully we'll look back now come May, June, July and go.
Yeah, hindsight, isn't it?
Yeah, Liverpool have won the league, and we were a bit, and laugh at these games and go, we drew, against Newcastle and things like this. But if we don't go on and win the league, then we'll look back at these and we'll be kicking ourselves.
Catch-22, isn't it, lad? It could be 2 good points, and then it could be we've dropped 4
bad points.
Four bad points, but considering how bad this season has been for any other than the previous 2 seasons, if it was a City But Liverpool, with that much power going throughout, steamrolling the league, this season, it's been so good from the likes of obviously Leeds when they have played against big teams as well. Obviously, i.e. Aston Villa, one of the bigger performers this season as well. Tottenham, United, we all laugh, but all those big teams up in well, I'll quickly get the league table up there, mate. But as we can see there, Reds.
Can I just say right now?
Yeah, good, man.
Man United are not in the title race. I had this argument with Ryan in our group. Even though the table says what it does, Manchester United are not in this title race at all. Everton are more in this title race than Man United.
I've got to put my hands up, mate. It's the way the season has been, and if Liverpool continue playing like we have, we know how good Liverpool have played over the last 2 seasons, but it's a very funny season this season, mate, and I think anything can go. And if Aston Villa, I know it's going to be very difficult for them to continue the momentum, but everyone said that about Leicester when they won the league. Never count a team out in this league. I tell you that now. I sound like an ex-Newcastle manager. I tell you now. But yeah, I absolutely hate it if Manchester United. It provides competition for us, and there's no better competition if you had Man United on your tail, and you Klopp and the boys are like, oh, it's not City this season, it's Manchester United, breathing down your necks really for a possible league title. There's no other way of bigger kick up the backside, really.
Yeah, oh no, it is. I think me and you as a kid, we grew up with Man United and Liverpool being the main title, challenge. Then, of course, 2008-9, and that, it was always Liverpool, Man United. But I had to, obviously, I spoke to the boys about this as well. For me, Bruno Fernandes is the best midfielder in the Prem at the moment.
I'm going for him.
He's fantastic, but he burns out. He does. Look at it last season. He burned out quite a lot. Apparently, he burned out quite a lot in the Portuguese league as well. So there is a history there. So if he's not there kicking for Man United, then who else do they have at the minute? Rashford, he's a good player, of course, but it is that though. And for me, they're not title rivals. I'd love it to be. I'd love it to be a Liverpool Man United title.
Cue someone clipping this into the end of the season.
Clip it. And if United win the title, then they win the title, But at the end of the day, if you go on and win a league title, you deserve it. End of story.
Whoever wins it,
whoever wins it, wins it. But for me, at this present moment in time, the way Manchester United are playing and the way that they, are so reliant on just one player, for me, they are not in this title race at all. Because I don't think Solskjaer can compete with the likes of Klopp, Guardiola, and others as well. In top 4.
It's an interesting form, and I think everyone. I'm wanting to create a weekly podcast where I try and get as many different fan channels or fellow rival fans anyway. I want to try and, if I can possibly, obviously with lockdown and that, just try and get everyone involved in the channel, really, do a Premier League weekly show with as many supporters from around the league anyway, because I'd love to get a Newcastle, Aston Villa, even Leicester's input as well. But a silly old season this will be, mate, and fingers crossed Manchester United, but if you keep on playing like you will, and if we continue playing like we have done in the last 2 weeks, I know it's very rare that Liverpool don't always get 3 points, and it's very rare that we do drop points. But Seamus, thank you very much, Reds, and thank you very much, Seamus. Very frustrating. Again, our away form has to get better. It most definitely does, mate, and I think, as I said at the top of the show, mate, Liverpool will analyse this now and we'll get a big, massive rollicking off Klopp, because it's frankly not good enough from their expectations as players in which they've set over the last 2 seasons. It's very difficult, but as we said, as Connor's mentioned and alluded to, Manchester United, when we were growing up as kids, that this is what we've developed over the last 2 years is this continued sense of really... When we were watching this game tonight, we hoped Liverpool, and we expected Liverpool to possibly get a late winner. It's nailed into our DNA. It has been over the last 2 seasons, but hold your hands up and fair play to Newcastle, because I think off the bat, it's so easy for pundits and just fans in general really to go, oh, Liverpool didn't really play as well as tonight. But I think Newcastle, they deserve a lot of credit tonight. And I know West Brom played the way they did, but it gets results. But tonight, Newcastle defended very well. And I think we made Dodds and all Newcastle fans out there, if any is watching, this has got to be the really pinpoint, really now, put this performance. But we've seen, like it was with West Brom, teams down there and obviously mid-table in the Premier League, they got absolutely smashed by Leeds. But Newcastle need to really pick this game now and go, right, this is how well we can play against the big team and really perform week after week and week. And this should be their pivotal game, really, to analyse and say, right, we can do it against a side like Liverpool, but it's their consistent levels of defending, which I think will be a big talking point, really. Just your thoughts on Newcastle, Connor, because I felt they defended very well, and possibly Callum Wilson was a big threat through the whole of that game. I think he got past Phillips. I think it was in the first half. He absolutely breezed past him, really, and it was a one-on-one chance. And I think one of the Newcastle defenders had a big opportunity in the second half, denied by Alisson. And we could be looking at a different game and different result, really, mate.
Yeah, if Adrian's there or maybe Gallagher's there, then we could possibly be talking about, Liverpool losing the game. If it wasn't for Ali, and that is just a testament, really, to Liverpool having a world-class goalkeeper again. But to be fair to Newcastle, I know that everyone look at managers like Sam Allardyce and Steve Bruce, and we look at it and go, oh, they play one style of football, which they do. It's Brexit football, as we like to call it, to be fair. But to be fair, like you said, it does the job and it gets points and it saves you from going down in the Premier League. And realistically, that is the aim for these types of teams. Yeah. It's just, survive and, see what you can do, and what's best. And let's not forget it as well, this could have been a different game if St. Maximin, was there, because of course he's got COVID and apparently he's fallen out with Steve Bruce, or there's multiple things going on there. There's other players as well, but they got the players like Callum Wilson. There was rumours of him being linked to the people like Manchester United.
He's a fantastic signing for them, and I tell you, if Liverpool were in the market, obviously we're not, but if Liverpool inquired about Callum Wilson prior to moving to Newcastle, I think that would have been a lovely signing anyway. I don't think Bournemouth would sell to Liverpool, considering we've just robbed them of 60 mil in the last couple of windows. But Villa said not good enough. We have Saints coming up, and will be another draw or loss if we do not turn up. Yeah, we've just been speaking about how good the Premier League is. Villa, you've been spot on there, mate. Liverpool's performance in the final third and just getting the ball in the back of the net. Just even if it's a fluky goal, just shoot outside the box. And I think with Thiago coming in, I think we'll speak about Thiago in a little second, mate. But beating Newcastle ain't for everyone, mate. Tom, he's a Leeds fan. Thank you very much, mate. Of course you would say that.
God's sake, Tom.
And Everton ain't there low. Obviously, we were analysing the league table and talking about who could possibly win the title. But Connor was so triggered that he just did it. Thiago
I said it right. I said it to Ryan. They are not in the title race. And I'm not saying that because I'm triggered. I'm frigging saying it now. Man United are not in the title race.
Yeah, Jay, thank you very much for your comment, mate. Pleasure as always to read your comment out, mate. Support on the channel and every single one of you that is getting involved in the comment section below. Absolute legends. Especially, it's not the ideal results, I know, but Thiago was class, absolute class. He made one bad pass. I reckon if we bought him on a half time, we would win that. And Bruno or Kevin De Bruyne, obviously talking about who's possibly the best player in the Premier League anyway. Hello, Brenda. My mum's made a debut on the channel. But Jay, absolutely spot on there, mate. We've got to talk about Jay's comments as always. His performance, and Jay's hit the nail on the head there as always. I was screaming for Thiago, and Klopp knows a lot more about us than just us silly fans anyway. But I was screaming for him to come on, and we've seen it, as Jay said there, as soon as he come on, the Newcastle, they all started to panic, and you could sense that they knew how good he is. Obviously, like we've talked about, obviously, like Kevin De Bruyne, obviously Bruno Fernandes, but Thiago is of that class of player, really. He can unlock a goal within just a pass. He just likes the team open, but the creativeness from Liverpool tonight was missing. I felt obviously Thiago, not taking anything away from the Liverpool lads in midfield, but Jones didn't have the best performance. Doesn't mean he played bad. He just was a whole team collective, because Newcastle were very good defending, stopping the channels, inside runners, and everything. They were very resolute. But what was your thoughts on, as Jay's just said there? I'd 100% agree with what Jay said there, lad.
Yeah, I absolutely agree as well. Yeah, and I agree with the sense that when Thiago was coming on, Newcastle knew, like, okay, we're gonna have to, back our ideas up, because there is a world-class midfielder about to come on and try and test us and that. And when we had Henderson, Wijnaldum, and Thiago in that midfield, like, it was so much better going forward. It was, we were trying to do the quick passing moves. You could see that there was creativity trying to be made, and we now know that midfield three of Hendo, James Milner, and Curtis Jones doesn't work. And for me, I love Curtis Jones, and I've bigged him up, saying he could potentially be the next Stevie G. But for me now, that is 2 bad performances in a row for Curtis Jones, and I think it's not because he's playing bad. I think it's because he's had to play so much football, so like young. If that makes sense.
Young, yeah. He's spot on there, mate. He's young. He's going to develop. That's not by bad. It's all about his development as a player. He's 19 years old. We've seen it with Trent when he played at Old Trafford and a couple of performances early on in his career. But I think he's spot on there, mate. But he will develop. He will learn from this. Yeah. He will be absolutely fuming, and you can see he was angry with himself. Yeah. Doesn't mean he's played bad. It was just it wasn't clicking tonight.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that he was like god awful, because he wasn't god awful, but it just, the way this team was playing and the system was working, it just didn't work, for many reasons. But it is part of his development, it is part of his growth, and that, and he'll learn from the likes of Thiago anyway, he will learn so much. The style, he'll learn so much from Thiago and Gini and others like this, of course, as well, because there are reports out there at the minute that are saying that Gini has agreed his contract for next year. That's been the biggest rumor coming out of this game, that Gini signed a 3-year deal with Liverpool, which, fingers crossed, that is the case, because we all love Gini Wijnaldum. But Thiago, for me, we've got Southampton next. For me, he is a must starter for that, because of course we don't have Naby Keita. Ox is coming back and that, so it's going to be between, I think, Gini and Hendo automatically start, and then is that conversation then who does start in that other role? Will it be Curtis Jones? Will it be Thiago? Will it be Ox? For me, I think it's got to be Thiago, because he just brings so much class to that midfield. It's unbelievable.
Yes, you doesn't he? Yeah, and Jay, spot on there, mate. Absolutely hit the nail on the head. And as Connor said there, I'd agree. And I think there will be games where Jones will be needed, and where he needs that tight space control, just needs that bit of space. And I think Curtis Jones will win us a lot of points this season. And I think, obviously, he's played a lot of games for such a young player anyway. And he's really impressed me. And tonight, it wasn't his best performance, but he still played very well in that midfield as well. Yes, Brenda, Latham, obviously the camera of my mum in the background. Usually Tilly on the channel anyway. North Ed, boys, we're doing, I'll pull my hair out here. Body language was awful tonight. Not a happy face the whole game. North Ed, I think we'd all agree with you there, mate. I was not best pleased. I tend not to swear on the channel, but I try my best not to. But yeah, I'm swearing.
I think there was many cursed words coming out of everyone's mouths when that game finished. So luckily we weren't recording when that was going on.
But it's also Salah, but he desperately needs a rest. Looked absolutely knackered today, and absolutely spot on there. Jay, it's Shaqiri come on late on, and we've got there he is, the Newcastle fan, Dodds.
All right,
we go. Thank you very much for coming on, mate.
Here you are.
As we said, the Newcastle perspective is very key. But Dodds, as me and Conor were discussing at the top of the show, it was a very good performance from Liverpool, apart from obviously getting the ball in the back of the net. And I was giving a lot of praise to Newcastle, and fully do deserve it, mate. He's played absolutely fantastic from a defensive point of view, and obviously with Callum Wilson on the break, you could have been 1 or 2 up really if you really took the opportunities. But what are your general thoughts on tonight's performance from a Newcastle point of view, mate?
I thought we played really well. We defended kind of good. Darlow, man of the match for me. That sums up really. I thought we just defended as a unit. Were really organised, and Liverpool just couldn't break through, even though they had a few chances.
Was that one of your best performances of the season, would you say, this season?
Yeah, defensively, yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, Karl Darlow, he's coming off the back of Dubravka. Is Dubravka being out injured the majority of this season?
Yeah, all season, yeah.
Yeah, I tell you, Dubravka's got a big challenge on his hands. I tell you, Karl Darlow could have been out there all night and for the next couple of hours, and saying to Connor before, it would have found it very difficult to get the ball in the back of the net.
To be fair, Dodds, like when Dubravka is fit, do you see him starting over? Do you see him as number 1 goalkeeper, or do you think that it's going to be hard for him to get back into the team?
It's going to be really difficult for Dubravka to get back in. I say Darlow should be number 1 now. Like, he's proven that he is.
Absolutely spot on. Where do you feel tonight from a Newcastle point of view? Obviously, you've mentioned the defensive point of view. What did you feel the Newcastle got right tonight in really obviously suppressing the Liverpool counter-attacks and obviously stopping Liverpool from really playing? Because Liverpool did get the opportunities, but it was, we've mentioned the Fabian Schär opportunity, or the clearance, and you had a very big opportunity in the second half. I forgot who it was, but the header, obviously Alisson denying your attacking player anyway. Who was it with that chance?
It was Kieran Clark.
Kieran Clark with the header. He's got a lot of goals this season, hasn't he?
I think he's one most scored defender. He's scored the most goals out of our defence.
He's probably got more goals than Joel, hasn't he?
He has.
Go on.
I think it's all come down to experience at the back of the night, because we've had Shaw, Clark, Fernandes, and we've had Hayden in as well. So we've had a lot of experience in organisation. I think Fernandez's leadership tonight was spot on.
He had Robbo rattled at the back end of that game, and Robbo wasn't happy. It's the Scotsman and the Argentinian going at it. He's a big fella, isn't he? But Robbo was like, I'll have you.
I'm sure I heard him say, wait until after the game.
Probably. I'd pay to watch that in the tunnel.
I'll tell you what, if Lascelles was playing, he would have had him by the neck.
But it was a standout performance tonight, Dodds. Obviously, we mentioned Karl Darlow, but from Newcastle point of view, who really stood out? And
apart from Darlow, I'd say Fabian Schär. Schär was he looked like his best self tonight, because he hasn't really been putting in the shifts. Where's
he been playing? Obviously, he's been out of favour from Brucey anyway. But did he play centre back tonight, or was he in midfield? I couldn't quite.
Yeah, he was in the centre. He's 5 at the back. He was in the middle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, there's obviously been the rumours, isn't it, with him and Man City being a constant thing as well. Do you think like that is your best formation, playing like 5 going into a 3, or do you think like it's going to be, because obviously conceding against Leeds and that, and obviously having the very good performance against Liverpool, but do you think that that's probably the best for Newcastle now? Maybe like having the 5 transitioning into the 3, maybe.
I don't think so for big teams like Liverpool, because Liverpool like to press, don't they? So I'd say 5 at the back would be against the big teams. But when we're going against the teams like Leeds or West Brom, well, Leeds isn't like West Brom, but we should be playing 4 at the back and going at them 4-2-3-1. We played the best last season when the restart happened.
Yeah, me and Connor were mentioning before, mate, is obviously St. Maximin is a big absence in that Newcastle squad anyway. Obviously, he's suffering with long COVID. Hopefully he's safe and well soon, mate. But I think if he was playing tonight, I think I really love watching him as a neutral anyway. In the Premier League, I think he's a player that gets you off your seat, and there's not many players in the Premier League that do that. But do you think he will be a big point for Newcastle this season if he can get him back fully firing, really? And obviously, there was rumours of him having a falling out with Brucey anyway, but sometimes you just got to hold your hands up if a manager has had a bit of a tick with a player. You've got to hold your hands up and just say he's too good not to leave him out.
We just don't know, do we? But I'd say I'd love to see him back in the team. That's what we're missing tonight, a little bit of flair on the pitch, just to take some people on. But I seen Wilson try and ball rule a few players, and I was like, oh, he can't. he is quality, like, but
he had the pace on us, though. Yeah, not quite Bobby Firmino last. Tonight he's on the job tonight. But as I was saying to Connor, I wouldn't if he didn't move, and if Liverpool possibly wanted another striker, I wouldn't have minded Liverpool a cheeky couple of £1 million bidding. But as I said to Connor, Bournemouth will never do business with us ever again, because we absolutely ripped them off for Dominic Solanke, another left back as well, and a certain Jordan Ibe as well. So they're not best pleased. But it is
did Klein not go to Bournemouth as well?
I think so. Yeah, he's in the Bournemouth to the collection.
No, did he go? He went to Palace, didn't he?
He went Palace, but I think it was he might have went on loan. I'm not too sure, but yeah, they're all down there. But he did. But after he made up, we got all that money. Obviously, so we've got North Heads. Cannot work out what bringing Shaqiri on with 3 minutes. Had to go. I'm lost. It's Klopp. We don't know how if. Salah, we know he's obviously played a lot of minutes. Could have been holding his hamstring, or we're not too sure with that, mate. But we never know. Shaqiri, he's got the quality, like we've seen against Barcelona not too long ago, anyway, in the Champions League. Curtis was invisible. James was all right. Hendo was just Hendo. After his spot on there, AJ. Lads, we have no time to learn. We have no wiggle room left. We have to be word perfect from here now on. But absolutely spot on there, North. Every big point is so pivotal this season. But we'll find out at the end of the season how impactful these results will be. Big up to Geordie. There we go, Jay.
Yes, get in.
We made Dodds. Absolute pleasure. Made up to get you on, mate. He was playing FIFA anyway, but hopefully he won that game anyway, mate.
I was playing as Liverpool, actually.
Oh, yeah. Is that?
Oh, no.
Don't tell that to your dad, because he'll kick you out. But yeah, nice a lot. Reckon they'd take a swap deal for Darlow for Adrian.
I'm not having him like.
Sounds a brilliant deal.
He'll win you a couple of trophies.
I'd rather have anyone in the nets than me doing. Sorry, I'm French.
No offense, football has changed. Teams being praised for 11 men behind the ball. It was the same with West Brom. What's gone wrong with football? North, that's the beauty of football, mate. Obviously, some teams win trophies to park in the bus. Some teams win trophies like the Liverpool and Cities who attack. But if it gets your results, I'm not a person to sit here and say, obviously, it's lovely to watch it if you're a neutral fan to watch attacking football. But at the end of the day, it's a results business. And if you're winning points, and you're getting points, or you're winning 3 points if you're defensive and you just take your opportunities, mate. But no, I'm all for defensive and attacking football. And sometimes that's what's helped Liverpool over the last 2 years, Conor, and it really, Liverpool's defensive display. You can't always go and attack teams. And because Liverpool, seasons before we had Klopp, it was always the defence that let us down.
Yeah. Well, like a Brendan Rodgers football, 6-1 against Stoke. I'm happy them days are freaking over with, at least anyway. But it's certain teams have certain styles, and it's like we talked about earlier on in the show. Steve Bruce, Sam Allardyce, they're perfect at doing 11 people behind the ball, and it gets them points. And what do points do? They make you stay up in the Premier League. So that's the simplicities of it, really. And all right, I'd praise Steve Bruce a bit more because, of course, Newcastle, they went forward when they had to. Sam Allardyce can get in the bin. Like he's just he's just Brexit football to like the T. But yeah, nah, like I'm not about that life. I enjoy heavy metal football, watching it week in, week out.
He's the Aussie version of like the British Aldi version of Diego Simeone, or something.
Oh,
I don't know, Aldi's class shop, but I'd say a Netto, it's a Netto version of Diego Simeone anyway. But yeah, Jay, Newcastle did well. I think West Brom did better, in my opinion. West Brom were lucky to get a goal, but Newcastle defo deserved something absolutely spot on there, Jay. Fully do. Newcastle did deserve at least a point out of that, and possibly on another night if they took their opportunities, because they've really got all 3 points. Obviously, with the win, which we finished anyway. Sharp was class. Remember him one season, scored and for fun. Yeah, what's happened with him? Obviously, we've mentioned him being left out, mate, but has it been a form thing or has it been a injury history, really?
I think it's been an injury problem, but Steve Bruce has left him out. Like since the restart, he never played him at all, hardly. I just think he thought that Lascelles and Fernandez was best.
Yeah, Connor's just done a disappearing act. I think possibly he got Houdini in the chat here, lads. But yeah, right, let's get to Ryan Dodds can't hear Newcastle from 14th. Obviously, Ryan and Dodds are good mates anyway, so good fans anyway. Still think Cabbage Head will get sacked at the end of the season. Obviously, talking about Caducci, just to really conclude, mate. Watch it after this coming season. Obviously, Newcastle up and down. Obviously, with the managerial effect of Steve Bruce, not ideally playing the best football that you want, but going forward, what do you expect Newcastle, or what are your expectations and hopes for Newcastle off the back of this performance and going towards 2021?
I think we should go for it. We should go for at the back, like I always say. And well, the only way forward is to get Bruce out, really. Like, it's gotten to the point, like last week when I was watching them, I just thought, I cannot watch this anymore. I just cannot. I don't want to. And well, I have, because I can't help it.
Yeah, you can never stop watching your team, whoever's managing. On it's in your blood, it's in your DNA. It's sad. Obviously, we had it with Roy, and obviously managers gone by, and obviously it's part of development. We live and breathe our football clubs anyway. But you go through the ups and you go through the downs, and you go through the ups again. But yeah, Dodds, absolute pleasure, mate, as always. Thank you very much for taking time out on a late Wednesday night, 11:10. I really do appreciate it. And Connor, if you're watching, mate, thank you very much for coming on as well. I'll leave Connor from the Cop Council. If you're not aware of his channel, make sure you head over to his channel. Dodds, what's your socials if anyone wants to follow? I keep telling you, you need to create a Newcastle channel, lads. If you need any help, you can become the new True Geordie anyway. You never know.
I'll be better than him, me.
Oh, shots fired, True Geordie. You've heard it there first. But yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate, and fair credit to Newcastle tonight. Liverpool didn't take the chances, but Newcastle very resolute. They had prime Ashton goal tonight in Karl Darlow anyway. But mate, thank you very much. Keep safe and well, and every Newcastle fan who's any watching as well. Thank you for Ryan, Jamie, True Geordie. Left YouTube, he's on Twitch now. Hey, Dodds, Jay, as Jay just said there is a big Georgie gap in the market for football. Talking about the Newcastle anyway. See you later, boys. Say thank you very much, Jay. We're not to read through Northred as well. Jay, Ryan, Tom as well. Both Toms, Seamus, Chris, and every single one of you. And anyone that's watching this video on repeat, obviously coming tomorrow. But it wasn't that Liverpool couldn't quite get 3 points, but off the back of, we'll find out how much this point will mean come the back end. But Dodds, been an absolute pleasure, mate. What's your socials? Just a quick one. Shout them out.
Ryan_Dodds _21 on Instagram. That's it.
Absolutely spot on. If you want to go and head over there and follow, we will get a YouTube channel sorted for you, Dodds. We will get one. But thank you very much, everyone. Keep safe and well. Have a lovely new year. I think I'll try and get a video out for tomorrow early-ish. So everyone, enjoy, look after one another. Obviously, stay in, obviously, in New Year's, but just look after one another. But Dodds, keep safe and well, all the Geordies out there. Big point for you tonight. And as always, Reds, have a lovely rest of your night. And thank you, every single one of you that continue to support the channel, and everyone, and nice one for Connor and Dodds as well. But Reds, see you later. Dodds, see you later, lad. And everyone, you'll never walk alone. Bye.